It's the AJ and McCall show.
After the show!
Yay. All right, Producer Butters, I promise I'm not putting you on blast, but since you and I had this experience, we got to talk about this.
Yes.
So, this week, we found out on the AJ and McCall show, the morning show version, not the after show version.
Right.
One, that higher-end restaurants put the uggos in the back. They say, no, you're ugly. Please sit in the back. If you can get behind a pillar, that would be great, right?
If you're prettier, you sit up front.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keep that in mind, because I want to get to the other thing. The thing we found out this morning is that not only that, pretty people also have better immune systems.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a terminal disease, get hotter and you'll fight it.
Obviously.
That's how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right? So with all that being said, the thing that came to my mind when we talked about the restaurant one earlier this week, do you remember where we sat when we went to lunch?
There's actually another whole area, but yes, we were clear in the back.
Like, there was no attempt. I mean, we only got a server because we snagged one on our way up to the buffet.
I mean, we literally could have ate and left.
Yes.
Like, nobody would even known.
Yes, we
Really?
could've. Yep.
Huh, that's
Literally.
insane.
They're like, oh, your server will be by. We sat there for like 20 minutes.
Yep.
No
That's
server.
crazy.
So,
This was buffet style. So
Right.
we could have went,
yeah,
Yeah.
because we needed to get silverware and you wanted the rice. So we were like, oh, well, wait. And then we're like, okay, I'm starving. Like, we'll go. And then we only got a server because we didn't get a drink when we had our first plate. And I made my pasta too hot.
Yeah.
I think Hoo Hot was trying to tell us something, buddy.
Yeah.
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 Shots fired.
That's wild.
I know. But it was fairly busy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a staffing shortage. Ultimately, do I think that they're at fault? A little bit, but clearly we're just ugly. So, like, if we had been prettier, then we would have been right there in the middle.
You know what? I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. You can put me in the back as long as there's a booth. If there's a pillar in the way, I don't care.
That's fair.
I'm here to eat, and that's
Yep.
all I care about.
Yep.
I want to stuff my face in silence.
Actually, I don't disagree with that. I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so I figured as soon as we got into that during the show this week, I was like, I gotta ask Producer Butters about this, see what he feels. So you know what? Very mature response there, Producer Butters. I appreciate that.
Way to go.
It's a good food regard. I mean, we ate. I don't think they charged us an ugly tax, so
No.
Mm-mm. I'm sure you'd see that if you looked at your receipt,
I
though.
would hope so. I had to sign it and tip it, so I didn't see any snuck-in fees anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, so now that we got the beautiful people out of the way, excuse me, now that we got the uglies out of the way, we can talk about the beautiful people.
Oh, ugly.
So, how about that story from the debate at 8 about the dude getting the grocery worker fired?
Okay, so you're going to have to re-explain it to me.
I got you, buddy. So, a dude on Reddit posted a story. What happened was he went grocery shopping with his wife, who apparently is a smoke show.
Yeah.
And some 20-something grocery store worker was like, oh my gosh, gotta have it. So he followed them around the store trying to strike up conversation and be helpful. And she was, by all accounts, the wife was polite, but not open to it. And so they checked out, and the husband is fuming because, you know, he's not dealing well with this, but he hasn't done anything to this point. They go out to their car. There is a phone number that has been left on their windshield. So the wife says, just don't worry about it. It's a stupid kid. And the husband says, absolutely not. I need to make a scene. So he goes in to talk to the manager, makes a huge scene about it. Kid gets fired. He went on to tell the story, and he said, am I a jerk for getting this kid fired?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because you can't just do that to random people.
No, I mean, I agree, but if she felt, like, threatened or, like, uncomfortable, then yes.
Only takes once of getting killed to be dead.
Put that on a T-shirt. It only takes once to be...
Now that's
Of
I already
getting
forgot
killed.
it. I already forgot.
that's a thinker.
It only takes once of getting killed to get dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That. You can only die once.
Eh.
Well, dang it.
So I don't think he's a jerk either, because like it's like you said, like it'd be one thing I think if it had stopped with the flirting and he had gone back in and made a scene, like he's within his right because that's still weird behavior. But like it's like
It sounds like the guy the husband is very insecure.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Because, I mean, without knowing further context, if this has happened before with, other people who have hit on him or whatever, it's hard to know that way. But I feel like AJ and I talked about this a little bit ago in light of everything going on with Kim and Kanye. Kanye's dangerous. The things that he's saying right now are very dangerous. They're abusive, scary realm of things.
But I mean, it's surprising because he's done this forever.
No, but the thing is that this kind of behavior shouldn't be tolerated is what it comes back to. So like with we talk about people who have been murdered in the past, and it's like, oh yeah, they seemed like they were nice enough. I don't know what happened. Susan Powell, like, that's the kind of scary stuff.
Logan commented on our Facebook page, said we should have just died and dashed. For who hot? We should have just left.
Nice.
I mean, I wouldn't do it, but yes,
no.
I did have the thought.
Right.
I didn't want to be a story at CashValleyDaily.com, so I was like, no
way.
To Kanye's point too, and to double down, like nobody's like, oh my gosh, Kanye's a misunderstood person. No, Kanye's a jackass.
Mm-hmm.
But to double down on it, my favorite thing, I don't know if you've seen on his Instagram feed, I don't know why it's suggested to me, but I've seen it. His new thing is to go out and call out people that have made fun of him and ask if they have any more jokes about mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you shouldn't joke about it, but like one of the images he posted was from that Pete Davidson skit where he wears the hat that says "Make Kanye 2005 Again."
Mm-hmm.
And again, talk about a huge swing and a miss, because Pete Davidson was shedding light on it, but Pete Davidson was pointing out that Kanye hides behind his illness and still acts like a jackass. That's the whole premise of the bit. He didn't say, and he comes at it from a standpoint of, I have mental illness. It doesn't excuse you being a jerk, but Kanye seems to think he can be a jerk, and then if someone says, Kanye's acting nuts, Kanye gets to go, well, it's not, you can't make fun of people with mental illness. You shouldn't, but you also should be striving to improve it, right? If you know you have a problem and you do nothing about the problem, you're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway, back to the husband. I don't know that it's insecure, because McCall made the point, like the murder point, and the murder point is like, how did that worker know that was their car? How did he know that? Right?
It's stalkery.
I didn't think about that.
Serial killer-esque.
That's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
Right?
So that's where my points come in, because as soon as it gets to the car, as soon as, oh yeah, he left it on the car, that's scary.
Big time.
And what happens if he hits on somebody else who is single and does the same kind of a thing? What's to stop him from escalating it? You would hope that they would.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe she's come in there before and saw the car.
That's not better.
Not really.
That doesn't make me feel better.
I mean,
he's like, mental picture. Chink. Save that for later. I don't care for that either.
Yeah. It's scary.
Here's the downside. What if said kid swears a vendetta against this husband now, and that becomes his whole obsession, right? He lost his job, so now he's at home. He's following him. It's like that scene in those movies, right? He's got those pictures, but he doesn't. It's not digital ones, right? He prints them out in his black room or whatever, and he puts them up on the wall, and he marks like their favorite spots. He's got the string up on the maps.
So I guess we'll find out. We'll have to watch those news stories in that video.
Oh, yeah.
There's about to be a new podcast about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That too much. Like, being in a relationship, I think, is accepting at some point. Someone is going to say something to your significant other in some capacity, especially in the age of social media. And you kind of got to make peace with that, because you can't control, like, your significant other cannot control what anybody says to them, right? So you got to accept that. But the like, hey, phone number, I'm going to follow you around the store. And all, no. Too much. Too much, Bob. No, thank you. There's an excuse to go swinging in the bread aisle.
Yeah.
And I mean fist swinging, just for clarity's sake.
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
So we're all clear.
We're not going to get our swing set on.
No, definitely not.
It's unfortunate.
Producer Butters, can I interest you in Hostess's new caffeinated donuts?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You do enjoy you a good donut. Now you can get caffeine and sugar high.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound appealing to me.
Talk about a
Sounds
terrible
great.
crash.
It
They're
sounds
called
great to
Boost
me.
Jumbo Donuts.
Boost Jumbo.
Each donut has the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. They have
Perfect.
2 flavors now: chocolate mocha and caramel macchiato.
Perfect. I'll eat a caramel macchiato one. Sounds delicious.
I'd much rather just drink a drink.
Rather-
Drink a drink.
I don't know what it is about that sentence. It's just funny to me.
Drink a drink.
Drink a drink.
Drink a drink.
God, what's the song? Is like we ordered drinks. we
Ordered
drank 'em,
drinks
we got
to
drunk.
drink. We drunk 'em, got drunk, and now I think she. Yeah, it's been on some things I've been listening to recently.
That's not as good as rhyming mansion with Wisconsin.
I know
Wisconsin,
he's Wisconsin.
but
He was
still
23 years old.
solid.
Pretty impressive.
It's one of the greatest feats of all time.
It's an impressive rhyme.
Hey, speaking of him, right? So he does streaming. It's one of his things, right? He judges people singing. He'll do his own stuff, like he plays video games. T-Pain does. Did you see the other day? If this is not a violent kick in the people got to take gaming seriously, there is a football player who plays for the Baltimore Ravens. I think he just completed his 2nd season. He was a first-round pick. He's a mid-first-round pick, so his contract was probably in the ballpark of 5 years, low 20s for the life of his contract. Retiring to stream. He has a Twitch channel. He is retiring from professional football so he can stream.
It's money.
That is nuts.
Making coin.
Huh. Well. Huh. He
That-
must be making quite
seriously?
a bit of money.
He
off it.
has to, right?
Of course, if you think about it, it's a lot less hassle as far as like
Yeah.
physical injuries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's less hassle and there's more opportunity to be able to make money. Obviously with the NFL, they're paying you, but you have tons of different endorsement options as far as Twitch stuff goes. So I mean, it makes sense.
The nuts thing is, so not to belittle Twitch streaming, but like I think everyone would agree the number of people that can and will play in the NFL is smaller than the number of people who can stream on Twitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the nuts thing is like all those points, totally valid points, but I don't want to say give up, to bypass something that so few people get, because like the saying is, and I don't know if it's statistically true, but the saying is 1% of high school players will play Division I college football, and 1% of those players will play in the NFL. So 1% of 1% will play professional football. But like, it's nuts to think that the opportunity or what he worked for, he had that, he was there, and he's a good player. It's not like he's a bad player either. And then he was like, you know what? Nah. It's crazy to think that he was like, nah, I got here, I achieved, I'm good. That's crazy. It's funny because there was a player for the Philadelphia Eagles, Boston Scott was his name, or is his name. He was drafted for, I don't remember what league it was. It was an E-league though, and he became, they said, quote, the first 2-sport athlete, with one being a professional sport athlete and one being an e-sport athlete. And it's just funny because the comments were like, "Oh, this is so stupid." I'm like, why is it stupid? Like, who cares? You really gonna insult? He's in the NFL, so you really gonna take a shot at that guy? But it's. I mean, if that's not a violent shove for streaming being like a legit thing, I don't know what else is gonna do to get people's attention.
No idea.
Dynamite commentary, buddy. Just splendid. This has been the AJ and McCall Show.
After the show!